there. Welcome to Down to Watch, the podcast that asks, are you down to watch? And what you'll always find here is pop culture talk. I'm your host, Kahmeela, here to review, recap, just mull over movies, TV, and music. And this is the fifth of 6 episodes that we will be discussing the Walking Dead spinoff, The Ones Who Live. And per usual, I am joined by my Revisiting Sunnydale co-host and YouTuber, Marcella.
Hello.
And Marcella, yes, thank you. And Marcella's working. Marcella has me working at a disadvantage this episode because she has already watched the finale. I have not, but we agree that we're going to keep this episode cute and spoiler free.
Yes, yes. No facial expression, no spoilers, no nothing. I am a vault.
Excellent. Because this episode, everything is coming out Rashone while they're on their honeymoon.
Yes.
That's what I
Sexy
feel like.
time in the city.
This is fantastical. And what I feel like what was the biggest and most important question that was answered in this episode was that no, they did not touch each other. Rick and Jadis. Not one city come up. I feel like on death's door, Jadis would have said something.
True. She probably would have rubbed it in just a little.
Exactly, because what you gonna do? Kill her more? Like it's
right.
Like I have a confession to make to you, Michonne. And this whole long
still driving this truck around though, like this bright ass yellow.
And
truck.
That's what gets them. That's what gets them. Because didn't Jadis mention that? She's like, I noticed the bright yellow truck that was sitting out in front, and then it wasn't.
And then it wasn't. Really, guys? Really?
And all that ethanol never came into play. Like, what was the point of that?
Chekhov's ethanol. I don't know. I don't know.
Just why? Why did we have to do all that?
What was the point of it?
And this long-standing deal that her and Rick had, like it feels... I
still don't know what it is.
Right. Like a little anticlimactic. Like what? So we still don't know what was it. And it... But most of there were 2 most important, no, I guess 3 really big events, big important events in this one. Was Rick just... his whole heart is on his sleeve this entire episode.
At every moment?
Every fucking moment. And it's bless his puppy dog. I am so much in love with this woman heart. Like, yes. I fucking love it. And I feel like this is a little a little shout out to the haters out there when he says, I was in love with my best friend, or with my son's best friend.
With my son's best friend. Yep. And I love that he's like, lovingly looking at the phone now, like you can tell he has Carl back. He can see Carl in his mind again. And he does, I'm a little concerned. I guess they found some soda at some point. And he goes like fuller on that soda. And if you don't know what I mean by fuller, the child in Home Alone, Fuller, the cousin, loves to drink soda a lot.
It was weird. Like it was almost like the way that I'm not sure what the importance of the significance of that shot was, but the way
I don't either.
He went about it, it was like this is like, oh, the honeymoon is kind of over. Oh, this is who you really are.
Right.
That's what it felt like. It's like, oh, I married this guy. This is who I fought for. This is who I searched for 6 years.
And I mean, he's full on to the head with it too, like full back. He's so excited about it. And I like their little road trip. I love this journey they're on together. It's like it's a honeymoon.
Yeah, they find the whole truck full of tasteful nudes.
Yes.
Ramen noodles. Are they in?
They're somewhere on the planet. They're somewhere on the planet. I don't know. They might be in Wyoming, but I don't know. We see some rocky mountains and some cliffs and some rivers. They're on the planet somewhere. I have lost the geolocation tag. I don't know where it is. They are somewhere.
That's right. But yeah, like they're getting all the good stuff. They find a nice, again, like they keep finding these spots that are just untouched. Like one or two maybe walkers throw it in there, and we found a fucking lodge that, yay, nobody's been in. Nobody decided to hole up in here for the last 15, 20 years. And it looks just like somebody left for the day. Like somebody closed up the night before the apocalypse and never came back. And
you're telling me people don't go through and do like searches? Like we used to do that in season 1 and 2. Like I remember Daryl many a times going out and finding things.
Exactly. And
I don't
like a lodge, like a lodge in the woods.
Full ass lodge with weapons on the wall. Like I don't.
It's just like nobody's there. Like, and I'm surprised, and I don't know if they just didn't shine a light on it or anything, but I feel like there should have been more hotels, like more people, like camps up in hotels and stuff and motels and things.
Yeah, lots of places everywhere. I don't understand where people went.
I guess just most of them just died off, I guess. I don't know. Shout out to Denai/Michonne for giving a nod to all the Black women and anyone who has a unique special name or whatnot when they go into the souvenir shop, and she just kind of mean mugs and just like checks the personalized license plate tag things. It's like, I never liked those things.
Never once have I ever found my name in a store.
Never once. Same here. Come close with Camille, I guess. Wrong spelling all the way, wrong sound, everything. It just means nothing. So
came close with a Marcy, but I would rather die.
I am nobody's Marcy. Like, you just stop it. But Rick does try to like make good, and he finds a necklace that says Michelle, and he breaks off the Ishelle, and gives her an M necklace. He pins her. This is like his high school sweetheart. He pins her.
Just so sweet. And then we come across what might be, The Walking Dead consistently introduces us to a new horrifying type of walker, and this episode we meet the Stone Walker. I don't like that. I don't like them. They're hard and they're crusty, and they're I don't like it.
Yeah, everything about it is horrifying.
And I feel like when Rick hits it and the dust comes out, I feel like that dust gets in his mouth.
Right. And in your mouth. You got zombie.
It's in your mouth. Yes, you got zombie in your mouth, and now I'm worried. But I'm more worried about these asshole people.
Yeah, the fucking 3 amigos. Because the one guy talks, he describes he shouts out Pittsburgh. I think that's the first time Pittsburgh has been mentioned in this whole thing, and it's not for a good reason or anything.
And I'm so tired of Pittsburgh always being the brunt of the entertainment industry's jokes. We're not a shithole, people, and I'm so tired of it.
He compares the stone walkers to pierogies because they're like boiled and then fried or some shit. I will never look at a pierogi the same way again. Thank you for ruining that for me.
And I would like to point out something that I did not watch the first time I noticed this, but now in looking at it, every single one of these people is wearing some type of red in their clothing. We should have known that they were not long for this world, because every single one is a literal red shirt. And Rick and Michonne, not a stitch of red on them.
Nope.
Shout out to that one guy, though. I will forever now use the defense of I'm peeing when faced with danger. Not I've peed or I'm pissing myself. Just I'm peeing.
Oh, I'm peeing.
I'm peeing.
I'm peeing.
Even Rick was like, well,
Was this exchange meant to be as funny as it was? Because it was comical. Like, it really was the whole point of it, of like the whole like Rick and Michonne coming up on them. They save them. They're like, great. And then they give him some noodles, and the dude tries to rob him. And then Michonne and Rick are just like, that's cute.
You really want to run. You just want to take that back. You want to take it back.
Right.
Take back what you said. And they're like, no, I'm not.
We're gonna double down. We're gonna double down. So
and then they get their asses beat.
Right, and Michonne takes her noodles back, and I love it. I love it.
Oh, I love it so much.
And she's like, and Rick is like, really? And she's, yes.
They don't deserve noodles. And I love that the big man is like, we take it back. I'd like to take it back now. It's too late. It is far too late. You pulled a gun on me.
Yep, you crossed the line, and it's just, now you're done. And then just even the whole, which is like, promise you're not going to try this with anybody else. And they're like, how do you know? And he's arguing with her. She's like, just promise. Just say you won't do it.
I don't want to have to kill you. I'm really trying not to murder anyone today. I would really like to keep today's clock at 0. Now, how come they keep finding full bottles of liquor places?
A full bottle of Black Label. At a lodge that was just like nobody. No, but like I understand you're not looking for alcohol in the apocalypse, but you find alcohol, you're going to drink the fuck out of it. Like, honestly.
If not, use it for burning purposes.
Exactly. Sterilizing,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's found the full bottle, and and I love they get all up in there, and she's like, Rick finally gets her toothpaste, which bless his heart.
How long? This season's back, right?
The toothpaste was season 6, I believe.
That's a long time ago. He's been holding that.
Right? He's been beating himself up about that. Because, honestly, that whole day was his fault. Like, he fucked up royally. Like, they found a whole truck full of supplies, including cases full of the toothpaste your crush asked for. And you fuck it up because I want to say it was Jesus that
it was. It was the first time we saw that Jesus stole the truck, right? Like,
right. But then like they get it back, and then they had to like between him and Daryl, like they were fucking around per usual, and the thing ended up in a swamp or something. Like the whole truck.
Yep. Now, we talked previously about possible characters from the OG show showing up in this show. And I'm super disappointed by the character they chose to bring.
The very last one on my list that I would have accepted.
I thought he was dead. I thought, since I didn't finish the show, as we all know, I thought there's no way this bitch made it out of the original show. There's no way. There is no way he is still.
He survived. He survived, and so him and Jadis are having yearly dates.
Sure.
I just want to point out, like, that broad tried to kill you twice. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Where Gabriel is concerned, this is kind of dumb shit that I'm talking about. Why I can't rock with Gabriel, because he's just he just makes the worst fucking decisions. And it is continually. And it's just, and for what? Like, for what? What was the point of even, like, keeping up this whole meeting with her?
I don't know. It's for her conscience, I guess. I don't know.
And he was like, if I'm getting the timeline correct, he was with Rosita while he's having these meetings with her. While he's kissing her. Which... Yeah, Rosita, baby.
Gabriel. There's a floor here.
Baby,
what happened?
Rosita, honey, sweetie, Child, I know it's the apocalypse. I know it's Slim Pickens. But
Eugene would have been a better choice.
yeah, I would have at least accepted that, grown to love him kind of, but not Gabriel. Never Gabriel. Never Gabriel.
No.
Even from like what she would like, even like it was Abraham and then that doctor, Saeed, is that his name? Or she had a baby with him.
The one that got Carl bit.
Yep. She had a baby with him. We're supposed to see the internal conflict where Jadis / Anne is concerned. And was she supposed to be sympathetic to us at this point? Like, we're supposed to think, oh, she went to talk to Gabriel for once a year for 3 years or however long, and
she's
tried
not a
to
horrible person,
right? Yeah, and she was
Please.
like, she was feeling bad about doing the things she did, like.
But in this 3-year span, she never said, "Hey, Rick's alive. Why don't you tell his family?"
Exactly. You didn't feel that bad, Jadis.
No,
obviously.
She never said, "Hey, I'm in this new place. Why don't you let me see if I can maybe bring you in." No, she didn't do any of that.
Even when he flat out asked for food and supply, she's like, "Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that." Mm-hmm. And at that point, it just should have been, just don't, Gabriel. Just leave her be.
And it's like we keep flashing back to these meetings, and after the first flashback, we get what is probably Jadis's biggest mistake in the history of her character, which is not shooting them in the head while they were asleep.
Yes.
What'd you wake them up for?
Yeah.
You at least knock one out, tie the other one out. Like, I don't know why you woke them up.
That was, because she likes to hear herself talk, I guess. Because she was like, I woke you up because I wanted to confess to you how bad I feel about doing this, or the fact that, or to congratulate you for saving your family and Alexandria, by how your death is going to save all their lives.
Mm-hmm. And she keeps saying, like, you still think I'm her, and I'm not. I'm not that garbage picker. I'm not any of those people. I'm this person now.
Jadis Stokes decorated blah blah blibbity blah, and Rick is trying that old trick of like trying to like get her back into that Anne mentality and character by saying her name Anne all the time. You don't want to do this, Anne. First of all,
she should have said me and my shitty haircut too.
Right?
I would have loved that.
Oh, I would have lost it. So when she does wake them up, they just talk like she's not there. How do you think she found us? Do you think she's alone? And she's like, that's just rude.
It is. It's so rude.
And they continue it too. It's like, nah, she's alone.
Mm-hmm. And then a nice little fight scene ensues, and I love it.
Yeah, but before we get to that, I have questions. First of all, I'd like to shout out to the internet for putting all sorts of dirty thoughts in my head about how is Rick and Michonne in and out of those zip ties so fast.
Yeah, they had some practice, maybe some drills at night, little special adult time practice.
Also, how do you zip tie a man that only has one hand? And Rick doesn't want to kill her. And Michonne's like,
you testing my patience, Rick. I love you, but God willing, sometimes I want to kill you.
All right. He keeps talking about, and Jadis keeps talking about this dossier. She has this dossier. The dossier that she has is telling everybody if anything happens to her, blah, 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 it tells everything. So what would have happened if she had died just out and about with nothing to do with Rick and Michonne?
Right.
For one. Two,
I don't know.
Who's to say anybody was going to look for and find said dossier? Like, she doesn't mention like leaving a message with anyone or like. Like,
you really think someone's gonna go through everything in your room and be like, "Hey, what's this?"
Right. I feel like it's more of a, okay, new apartment opened up and just somebody goes there, just cleans house, just takes out all the shit that they can't use. And
that's what I would think.
But they have a 5-year plan, 500-year plan. So
too many years. That's too many years. That's so many years.
None of y'all are gonna be around for all 500. Let's just keep it simple. Can we just break it down in bite-sized chunks?
Right.
let's say 20 years, and then that way that the next generation you have successfully passed it along to, and we can keep going from there. But 500 years, it's overextending. While they're running after Jadis, they're like tracking her blood trail, quote unquote, that she left. How are they why were you so easily to walk into this trap? How do you really think Jadis was going to leave a blood trail?
Yeah.
And just accidentally? Obviously it's a trap. And she's hooked up with the three amigos.
Which I love when Jadis comes across the three amigos. The one is so butthurt about the ramen noodles.
Who gives an antelope?
It's been a day and a half, and he's still talking about these ramen noodles.
He's like, it's just pasta. Who cares about pasta?
Why
I feel like you've been starving for right? I think you, sir, care quite a bit about it.
And even though they fall for the perfect trap, it goes horribly awry. Horribly awry.
Three amigos are eaten immediately.
It's almost pointless. I'm sure Jadis was like, seriously? I'm surrounded by morons.
Right, because she was all, it's like, hey, people are resources. I got the numbers for, oh, no, I don't have the numbers. No. They're dead now.
No, I don't. They're shit. And she's just continually, you two together, god damn it, I can't stand it.
She's so jealous. She hates it. She's so angry about it. Like, I thought I had gotten Rick away from you and I was able to mold him into what we want, but damn it, God, you guys are really pissing me off. And she keeps just going on.
And I swear I don't learn anything from these Gabriel flashbacks at all.
Nothing other than, was all this just so
that Rick we feel bad for her,
or for Rick, so Rick would have a ring for Michonne that she's
guess, but holding on to, carrying
around on her neck, just because it was on a necklace. So so this whole time while you had like what. It just really makes me hate Jadis and Gabriel more. Like, I don't, like, that's all this is. It's like, I would like to retroactively go back and cuss you out, Gabriel, for the last 3 seasons. Because you've been going off and meeting with this broad.
Not telling anyone, both of you, not telling anyone that you're doing this, and telling her that you like coming here. And, I forgot they did kiss a little.
Yeah.
So, was that because Rosita doesn't make it out of the show alive, right?
No, she doesn't. So that's what I'm saying.
Before or after?
I can't keep track of the timeline. I don't know. I really
he does
have
mention
to bring
the
out...
whispers.
Yeah, he mentions the whisper. Like, Rosita dies like the series finale, so she makes it like to the very end.
So the whispers happened.
Yeah,
I forget which flashback that was. So
I think that was the second one when he asked for
about
food.
Food because they got wiped out.
Yeah.
What a jerk.
As much as I love Rick and Michonne, I really do kind of hate the whole save a hoe mentality. Like, it's like when they were talking after they encountered the three amigos and they're just chatting in the cabin. They're like, it felt good to help people just for the sake of help. That kind of shit. Like, I don't, at this point, it's, why do we care? And then where we get to, like, they're still hell bent on, we're going to be the ones to bring the world back. We're going to be the ones to save the world. Why does it have to be you?
Why? You've done enough. You've tried and failed. Tried and failed. tried and failed.
Yes.
Let someone else try.
Right.
Like it's somebody else's turn.
Yes. How you can help save the world is by saving your family and making sure those kids have mama and dada as long as they can. And I know it's been explained about how, you know, because Jadis doesn't want to lose another community. Like she lost her garbage people and how she lost sort of like the Alexandrians, which she really didn't. Like she left. So
she left.
Yeah. And that was by choice and took Rick with her. And, which is why she's so, I have to save the CRM. And she's too consumed with Rick and Michonne coming back to destroy them, which, again, it's not your job, Michonne. Just let these people be. Like, you could just tell her, like, we will, honestly, just let us go. We ain't got to hear from us ever again.
And, I mean, it's both that they both just can't let it go. She should have just let everyone think they were dead.
Yep.
And gone about her business. And worried about if they came back. And they should have just let it go.
But no, we're making problems where they don't need to be. Like
we're still trying to make new deals, get new deals in place. No, we're not making any new deals. No, I'm just going to kill you. And then we're going to go home to our babies. How about that?
Yeah. There was one thing, and I think it's funny because it kind of mirrored my thoughts when Jada says, I wish I had died an artist. Because I was thinking before, like in the middle, I was like, I miss her just being an artist. Why is she this? Why are you this
And
way?
they do continually show some flashbacks to her and like her other life. And she's so happy in her garbage pit. Looking like Mila Jovovich. Looking all happy.
She
with
does.
Her Yoda speak and...
Right. Yoda speak, and for whatever reason, she chose to sculpt completely nude with just an apron on.
Yep.
Sure.
But instead, nope, we're here, and we're at probably the best double cross of all time.
It's like a double cross. So it wasn't so.
And
like
there's Rick's little stink eye again, though, when he like he does that little head nod when he comes out from behind.
I fucking love it.
I love Rick, so I missed Rick so
much. So this is the whole. So Rick pretends to agree with Jadis as she's like, you know, coming close to death. It's like, all right, I'll go back with you. Let Michonne go get some first aid kit for you. And then we'll get you to your drop-off point, and we'll go back with you.
Yeah.
This is what he proposes.
Yeah, which I don't understand why she agrees to this. But he does give her shit right off the bat. Like, you've looked better, sir. Is this the time? Is this...
Which is... I mean, do we have to be petty about it? I guess...
Right?
You won. Just let it go.
Just take the win.
We don't have to do this.
Right? And she pulls a gun.
And then Michonne comes out. She pulls a gun and she's like, ha ha, I got you. And then Michonne comes out. It's like, ha ha, I got you.
With a bigger gun.
Yeah.
Is it the Pittsburgh people? Did they wake up? Is that who it is?
I think so. I
and
think that was the
eat
case.
her.
Michonne tried half-heartedly to save her, but didn't get her in time.
No.
Which was fine. And so she's like slowly dying out and turning into a walker or whatever, and just giving her monologue about why she believes in what she believes in, who she is, and Jadis.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Good night.
Bye.
She's out. Rick
Bye.
Puts her out of her misery. And Michonne looks really happy about it. She tells them about the dossier and that they have to go get it. And, yeah.
And so they're like, yeah, let's do that.
Well, I do like that she's like, just go live your life. Don't go after, promise me you won't go after the CRM.
Right.
You're going to let it go. And Michonne's like, we're not doing that. We're going after the CRM. We're tearing it all down. And Jadis is just like, okay. If you're going to do that, then there's a dossier in my room. You should probably go get that. I can't. I don't. Done.
I tried.
I got nothing.
But it's funny that Michonne would do that because this is mirroring their interaction with the three amigos. And she's like, just say you won't do it. And she won't do it.
She won't.
No. I want her to know exactly what I'm going to do. I don't want her to have peace and death.
Yep.
She's so mad about the I will lie with him. She
is. She really is. And I have a slight bit of pity moment when Gabriel shows up. Cause she ain't coming. There have been years, like he says in the flashbacks, I didn't think you were coming this time, but here you are. Well,
right. It finally happened.
How long are you gonna wait there, buddy? Cause
right.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Right. I'm also confused as how are you guys keeping time these days? Like, how do we know what date it is?
Right. Yeah.
So before all this, like within the little flashbacks, Gabriel had mentioned how Rick had wanted to marry Michonne on the bridge, and Gabriel was being all bitchy about it, like for whatever reason. Like, yeah, I don't like that whole exchange where she's like, she asks, "How was Rick's wife?" And he's like, "Michonne." And she's like, "Why'd you call her that?" First of all, why not? Business. Right? Why? You've been there. You know. Right. You know what Rick and Michonne are. Stop it. She's like,
you've seen.
Right. And he's like, well, I mean, I guess not. They're not technically, but then he catches himself and is like, oh, what does it really matter? Yes, Gabriel. What the fuck? Like, what are you doing? Like, what? Like, at this point in his mind, Rick is dead. So why would you begrudge a dead man and his will?
Right.
This.
Right. What is it to you? Why are you being stanky? Just stop.
And then he goes on to talk about how when Rick said he wanted to marry Michonne on the bridge, and Gabriel was poo-pooing the idea or whatever. And then he went off to think about it. What does it all mean? And then he found the ring that he was going to give back to, or put someplace for Rick to find so he could give it to Michonne. But then Rick got blowed up and he never got to have it. For whatever reason, Gabriel kept this ring and brought it with him onto his meetings with Jadis. I don't know why. And he gives it to her as a symbol of eternity, and round we go, and blah, 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 which I'm feeling pretty salty about, because I feel like that should have gone to Michonne from him. He should have told Michonne that story about the bridge, about Rick wanting to marry her and what had happened. But he gives it to Jadis. Jadis has been holding on to this ring, and she gives it to Rick at the end as she's dying. And this is the point where after everything is all done, Rick, bless his heart, gets down. He tells Michonne like some of the greatest shit. It's a broken world, and you're the only one that puts it back together. Till my last breath, I am yours.
Okay. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And she pulls the Monica and Chandler and gets down on her knees with him.
Yes.
And they have a sweet, sweet moment.
It's so beautiful. It's like, and somebody on Twitter had pointed out something a little bit meta. An account called The Walking Dead Infected Rick Grimes full circle moment. In the prison, when Rick was hallucinating and talking on the phone, he thinks he's talking to Lori, and he says, the world is broken and I can put the pieces back together. Rick proposes to Michonne and says, it's a broken world, Michonne, and you're the only thing that puts it back together. To my last breath, I am yours. Rick Grimes is whole, healed, complete, and loved, all because of Michonne.
Oh, I love that.
I don't know. Season 3. Welcome to the Tombs. I'm going to go back here and just pinpoint some more. As I said, I've been going back and looking at Rishon moments and
wonderful Rishon moments.
Yes, and just checking to see, just looking for clues, looking for the breadcrumbs. So season 3, episode 16. Welcome to the Tombs. When Rick is considering to give Michonne to the governor, but in the end he changes his mind. And there's like a scene where Michonne and Rick she tells him, she gets it, like that he was about to do it, but she forgives him for it. And she also thanks him for letting her in that day. She's like, I never thanked you. And he tries to say, well, if you didn't have the baby formula, I wouldn't have let you in. And she was like, well, you could have just taken it. And he replies, well, it must have been something else. And then he gives this subtle scan of her body and cleans it up real quick. Like it's like a nanosecond, like the way he looks at her. And then he cleans it up by saying it was Carl's call to save her. And after this exchange, like they're still walking, and there's like like these flirty little okay, all right, it was Carl, and just like there was the beginning right there.
Yep, such a good moment.
I know. And then like in season 4, episode 1, 30 Days Without an Accident, I guess Michonne has been out, if I recall correctly, that she's been out looking for the governor, because at this point the governor had like disappeared after he attacked and disappeared. And Rick and Carl run out to greet her, and they both have these huge smiles on their faces. And Rick is like, "We're glad to see you." She's like, "I'm glad to see you too." And then she hands him the clippers and tells him his face is losing the war. And it's just like, you guys.
I was watching something for after the finale, and everybody's just got questions. After every episode, everybody's got questions. Why don't you just stop and sit back and wait for them to say something, and we'll go from there.
Right.
Because eat what you have been served, and when seconds are offered, then...
Exactly. Let's not be greedy, folks. Let's just let it happen. Let it be a beautiful surprise if like a year from now or 6 months from now, they're like, hey, guess what, guys? We got a season 2. But there are a lot of things in play. Not just, do we have another story to tell? Do we have enough material to continue this story for another season? There's monies and contracts and obligations and other job families. And so it's just like whether or not Denai and Andy want to and can do it again.
Right. And to mention they have, isn't she still doing that Okoye show for Disney Plus?
Oh, I have no idea. There's an Okoye show?
I thought she got her own show, and if it wasn't a show about her, then it was definitely a Dora Milaje show.
What?
That she was going to be on. To the Google.
Yeah. How blessed is her life, man? Dang.
Right?
Like, one, you get on this show that lasts for 11, 12 seasons or however long or whatever. Like she comes in like season 3, and then just like that's your career. That's it right there. And oh, yay! By the way, we got you in some Marvel movie, little movie about a little guy called Black Panther. You may have heard of him. Maybe you want to play one of the Dora Milaje or the general of the Dora Milaje. That's right there. That's. Like, had she done just one of those things, like, set for life. And then, also, by the way, guys, I'm a talented playwright. I also, got some shit on Broadway. Right.
Oh,
God.
Yes, it says she gently alluded to the possibility of an Okoye show in 2023. I would love that. But you know what I would love even more than that? I would love the story of Bucky and his girl from the Dora Milaje. I need to know that story and how
What?
that happened. Yeah,
What?
yeah. That was alluded
this on
to
the-
on Captain and
on
Winter
the-
Soldier.
What?
I mean, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
I was on that show.
Yeah.
I tried to watch that. I watched the the first episode like 3 times and fell asleep every single time.
So not only is there like Bucky hooked up with one of the Dora Milaje, there's a
Good
couple
for him.
scenes where Bucky meets Sam's sister, and
Oh.
he's like, "Hey," and she's like, "Hey," and Sam is like, "Do not date my sister." And then, like there's a moment in the finale where they're like, "Hi," and you're like, "Oh, I think Bucky might date Sam's sister."
Bucky. Good
Yeah,
for you for like getting out of the 40s because
Yep.
like, it's a
Right?
good thing you got frozen when you did.
Yep.
So shout out to these guys for disposing of the villain when it was time to dispose of the villain and not giving us Negan syndrome and just like, dragging her along for much. I mean, I know we only have 6 episodes, but knowing that, yes, your audience wants her dead. We all wanted to see her gone.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's gone. But did we have to devote a whole episode to it when we only have 6 episodes?
No, we did not. We didn't need the. I think the flashbacks were very unnecessary. I think that we were trying a little bit too hard to make her a sympathetic character in the end of it all, to make us be like, oh, but she really wasn't that bad. She had inner turmoil. Don't care. She still made her choices. She did what she did.
Don't care.
Like, it's not. It's just, again, it's along those lines of like a lot of things where a lot of different stories where it's like sometimes it's better to not know the villain's backstory. Like I don't need a bunch of like dots to connect, and I don't need to like keep going like just like and like peeling back the layers. No, sometimes it's it's fine to just for the villain just to be the villain, and we never really know why.
Right.
As what's his face Billy Loomis said, did we ever find out why Hannibal Lecter liked to eat people? Nope.
Nope. Don't think so.
Wow.
What are you expecting for the finale? What do you want to see for the finale?
Well, I know we've got to do this whole CRM business, which is just really fucking with me. What I would like to a clean and so that's the whole other thing. Like Rick is not only are they trying to go back to the CRM so they can get this dossier, he's also going to go do this echelon briefing and learn everything he needs to learn about what everybody else doesn't know about the CRM. And I really hope it's just like some bullshit thing. Like, did you guys know we have an icy machine? Like, I wanted.
Did you know we have craft services?
Not everybody knows this.
Every other Tuesday is pizza day.
Psst, guys, the world doesn't really end it.
I mean, if I have to be forced to understand going to get the dossier, sure, I get it. But why don't you both go get it and then just jet.
Bounce? Yeah, just bounce.
Go back to your family.
Sending Rick in here to like still like learn all of these secrets is too much, because if they didn't have children, I would be like, yes, go forth, save the world, do what you do. But you guys, they have 2 children to get back to, and you've already been gone for like 8 years. So let's just not like add extra stuff in it. But what I would like to see is, I would love it if they just like within the first 20 minutes, we get in, we get out. But we know that's not going to happen, because why? Because I am still a little bit butthurt that Terry O'Quinn has had you go and get Terry O'Quinn for 15 minutes of screen time.
What
in
is the point
episode.
of that? Right.
Ew.
Why did you even bother that man?
Right.
No.
There's no reason to contact his agent and managers and bring him out to do a fucking audition or say a self-tape or any of that nonsense.
No.
So no, I feel like Terry O'Quinn is going to play a big part in whatever happens in the season finale, and I'm here for it because I would like a little bit of just like just some knucking and bucking.
See that beard again?
Yeah,
that
you
tight
do.
Little outfit, I like
right? And I would if we don't get them actually reuniting with their children, which I feel like would be a real just kick in the pants for all of us. I would at least like to see them walking off, like literally walk off into the sunset or drive off into the sunset, watch Michonne, and Michonne gets her sword back. I really want her to get her sword back.
You really want her to get her sword.
So,
well, the only little spoiler-free nugget I will give you is the one thing that I wanted from the finale I did not get.
Oh, no.
And that is, I really wanted to know the outcome of Rick's new friend that works in management.
In water services or what was
yes.
it? Public service?
Yes.
What happened to, what was his name? Eduardo? Ricardo?
So I need a welfare check on him. And I didn't get it.
Oh, yeah, because we only got like a half a second with him. So that's unfortunate. Well, all right.
That's it.
So I'm off to go find out like right now to go see what happened.